Good day, and thank you for tuning in 3D, the Daily Divine Direction broadcast. For all of our new listeners and viewers who are tuning in for the very first time, I'm Pastor Pope. Thank you for allowing us to come into your listening and viewing environment. We are here with you every Monday through Friday from 12:30 p.m. until 1 p.m. Eastern Daylight Time, broadcasting live from the FijiWater.com sponsored studio, where you can discuss careers, finances, entrepreneurship. You can discuss marriage, divorce, raising children, blending families. You can discuss dating and relationships. Whatever's in your heart, whatever's on your mind, God is concerned about that which concerns you. So we are here with you in 3D, the Daily Divine Direction broadcast, every Monday through Friday from 12:30 p.m. until 1 p.m. Eastern Daylight Time, which is brought to you daily by Fiji Water, Earth's finest water. You may already know that Fiji water comes from Fiji. However, did you know that it is created by nature? It is untouched by man. It starts as a tropical rainfall which slowly filters through layers of volcanic rock, where the water collects in a natural, sustainable artesian aquifer, where it is bottled right at the source, free from human contact until you unscrew the blue cap. Fiji Water, Earth's finest water, will be delivered right to your front door when you subscribe for delivery, and you'll save money at FijiWater.com. This is not just ordinary water. This is Earth's finest water at FijiWater.com. And for those of you who continue giving on the give segment of our app at New Life-Delaware, and those of you that have made a weekly or monthly commitment to support the broadcast by giving on the contribution pages of our websites at NewLifeMinistriesInternational.com, NewLifeInternationalCDC.com, and for those of you that are using the QR code or the link that is provided on Facebook and YouTube, we thank all of you for your support and for your commitment as we fulfill our commitment to God to be here for you in 3D, the Daily Divine Direction broadcast. So I want to remind all of our listeners and viewers that we are Facebook Live, we're YouTube Live, we're RadioFreeNetwork.com Live. Go to RadioFreeNetwork.com, click on radio, the drop box will appear, click on New Life. Every broadcast will be available to you, and of course, you can go to YouTube and type in our YouTube channel, Daily Divine Direction Broadcast. Every broadcast is archived in perpetuity, and we want you to stay connected with us 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, by tuning in to our internet radio station, WKAP Faith Empowerment Radio. You can find us at WKAPfaith.com. We play music 24 hours a day that will encourage you, empower you, and inspire you to become the best version of ourselves that we can possibly become. And so I want to begin with a communication that came in from one of our listeners and viewers who indicated that you are non-confrontational. However, it is getting to the point where everyone around you is pushing you to the edge. And instead of jumping off the edge, you said it feels as though you are going to jump on someone else. So let me first of all say this: nothing good is going to come of that. So let's take a pause and let's talk about what it means, what it looks like for you to avoid jumping on someone, because we don't want to get to a place where we lose our mind like the rest of society is doing right now. So let's talk about this. First of all, if you know you're non-confrontational, then stay in your peace. Okay, that's the first thing. Don't allow anyone to take you out of your peace. That's the first thing. The question you have to ask yourself is, why is it getting to this point where you feel people are pushing you to the edge? The one thing you don't ever want to do is jump off the edge. And I realized that based on your communication, you said that's the reason you feel that instead of jumping off, you want to jump on someone. But here's the reality. You never want to get to the point where you feel like jumping off the edge or jumping on someone. What you want to do is step away from the edge. And what that means is you step away from people. You have to recognize that it's much more effective for you to say, I'm just not going to deal with these people. You said everyone is pushing you to the point. You have to identify who those people are that are pushing you to the edge and stop dealing with them. You know, it's one thing to love people, but sometimes you have to love people from afar. You have to love them, let them live their lives. Don't bring their crisis or their drama into your life, and love them from afar. Get some distance between you and them. You cannot allow people to push you to a point where you feel like you're going over the edge, because nothing good is going to happen. You know, you're going to lose your own sanity trying to deal with other people and their own issues. Now, when I say that, meaning you feel you need to confront some people with certain issues, but you're non-confrontational. That's not who you are. So the reality is you have to leave them alone. You have to leave them to their own devices. Now, some people will say, well, that's not showing love. Well, yes, it is. Because if you get to the point where you feel like you've got to lay hands on someone because they're pushing you too far, you need to step away from them. You know, it's the same thing with, you know, domestic violence. I'll use that as an example because everyone understands that. You know, for all of us men, I say this over and over again. We don't ever need to get to a place where we have to put our hands on a woman violently. You know, I'm not telling you don't caress your loved ones. I'm not telling you don't hug your loved ones and love on them. I'm talking about violently. You don't need to put your hands on someone in a violent way, because men are physically designed to be stronger. So for men, we don't abuse women. We don't put our hands on them. We don't do any of those things. But once you have identified that as a man, none of us, man, woman, or child, should be putting our hands on anyone else. There's that old adage, keep your hands to yourself. Well, that's reality. You know, today they have a legal term for that. It's called assault. You don't want to get to the point where you put your hands on someone because they have pushed you over the edge. So you have to leave folks alone. You have to stay away from them. You have to separate yourself from them. You have to put some distance between you and them. And what I mean by that is you simply have to say, and I don't mean this to be cruel when I say it, but I'm gonna say this as an analogy. You have to simply say they're not worth your time for you to feel that you have to confront them verbally or physically. Who's really worth your time and energy to do that? You know, there's no reason for us to allow anyone to take us out of our peace. You know, and listen, I'm using all of these analogies to make a point. Obviously, if someone violates your home, invades your home, or hurts your loved one, you have to respond to that. You know, we're not going to be trampled on by life. You know, you have to respond. You have to protect your family. You have to protect your home, because that's part of your sanctuary. That's your peace. But outside of that, you know, you really don't have to deal with people, except when it comes to the professional environment. You can separate. I'm not suggesting you live as a hermit, but you need to be around some people who are more productive and more rational. People that you don't have to feel that you have to confront them about everything. Everything is not a battle. You know, whenever you feel that you have to battle with someone or something, that it doesn't involve protecting your home, your family, or your peace, you have to say that battle belongs to the Lord. You know, that's what the scripture means when it says, you know, some battles are not ours to fight. Some battles are the Lord's. That's what they really mean. That's what the scripture really means. It means that aside from protecting my own environment, my family, my loved ones, or my peace, I don't have to fight a battle with everybody else. Because really, if I'm fighting a battle with everyone else, I'm at war with myself. I hope everyone got that. My inner peace has been disrupted, and now I'm warring within, and I have to lash out at someone else. That's what that really means. Because if you're outside of my home, my family is protected, my peace is protected, I don't need to deal with you. If you're in my professional environment, there are policies and procedures that protect that. But I'm going to do my work. I'm going to finish my day. I'm going to go home and get back into my sanctuary and in my peace. But we're so accustomed to fighting every battle and fighting internally with ourselves that we then begin to create conflict, and then we either are going to confront it or we're not going to confront it, and then our peace is disrupted anyway. So we just got to do a better job of navigating our emotions, take our emotions out of the equation, and we've got to say to ourselves, okay, if it doesn't directly impact my quality of life, it has nothing to do with me. And all of the crisis and drama that all these people that you're talking about in your communication that are causing you to feel that they're pushing you to the edge, they're only pushing you because you're allowing them to push you closer to the edge. What you should be doing is the moment they bring you that issue is walk away from the edge. Don't keep allowing them to push and push and push until you feel like you can do nothing else but lash out. Now, I'm not suggesting, and I want you to hear this because this is for all of our listeners and viewers, I'm not suggesting that we let anyone abuse us. I'm not suggesting that at all. Because we are created in God's image and in His likeness, and we know that God is a warrior. And what I mean by that is He's got angels that are war angels. They're not the little Tinkerbells that you see flying around. They're in cartoons. They're warriors. They're war angels. So we know God will fight the battles we don't need to fight. We just need to pick and choose our battles. We just need to know that there's a better way to live life than trying to fight every battle or trying to create a fight that because we're warring within. We've got to learn to be at peace with ourselves. Got to find that peace that not only surpasses all understanding, but that is perfect peace. Because that's what we really all should be living for, to work towards every day. We all have a lot of responsibilities. We all have life to live. You can't live anyone else's life, and all of the challenges that they're bringing your way and pushing you into their challenges, those are not your battles to fight. Find your peace. Stay within your peace. Don't allow anyone to disrupt your peace or your quality of life. Stay off the edge. It's much bigger on this side. The edge is the end. You want to be in a much broader space where you have space to move around and feel comfortable and be content, not complacent, but content. This segment of the broadcast is brought to you by T-Mobile, America's largest, fastest, and most reliable 5G provider at no extra charge. If you are not currently a T-Mobile customer, you may call or text on the T-Mobile call or text line at 267-992-1424. We will move you into our queue so that you may become a T-Mobile customer and experience America's largest, fastest, and most reliable 5G provider at no extra charge. Taxes and fees are included in your bill, and if you auto pay by attaching a credit card to your account, you will receive a discount on your monthly bill. At T-Mobile, America's largest, fastest, and most reliable 5G provider at no extra charge. I'm going to address another communication that came in from one of our listeners and viewers who indicated that you are a very social person, and your significant other is not. You want to know, how do you get him to interact with more people? So let me say this. First thing that you need to do, if this is what you're committed to doing, is identify what he enjoys doing. The problem that you're having is you're trying to fit him into the environment of your friends. You're trying to fit him into the friend circle that you have. That will come in time, but the first things you need to do is find the things he enjoys doing, and then find a new environment that the two of you can enjoy together. So you find out the things he enjoys doing, and then you can select some things in that are in a new environment that will allow him to become a little more sociable, so he can practice his social skills, so that then when you include him in your friend circle, he'll be ready to handle your friend circle. Because you got to remember, your friend circle is going to be a little different for him to deal with. And the reason is because you all have been doing things a specific way, a certain way, for a specific period of time. You all understand one another. You all know your ebbs and flows, your body languages, your tone inflections. You know all of that because it's your friend circle. Now what you've got to do is you've got to identify what he enjoys doing, even though he may not be doing it right now. Create a new environment, or find a new environment that he can practice those skills. Because it's going to be important for him to be a part of your friend circle, but you need to prepare him for that. See, let me kind of walk everyone through this. Everyone has a different personality. There may be some similarities, but everyone has a different personality. You said you're social. That means you are an extrovert. You said him not so much. That means he's an introvert. But sometimes people are only introverted because of their life experiences or because of the environment that they've dwelled within. Now, I know, one of the things my wife and I have always told our children is don't live in a bubble. But that doesn't mean that he hasn't been living in a bubble of his own type of environment. Doesn't mean that, other people aren't living in bubbles. It means that everyone brings their own life experiences to the table, the environment. So if he has been living comfortably being an introvert, and you want him to do something else that will enhance the quality of his life, then you have to prepare him for that. You have to help him prepare. If you're going to be in a relationship, you know what you're getting. You know by now what you're getting. These months that you've been dating, you know what you're getting. You know what you've got. I should say that. You know what you now have. Now you can begin the process of really identifying the things that he enjoys doing. And once you've identified that, then you can create a new environment. Let him practice on other people before he practices on your friends. Because remember this, he'll never get a second chance to make a first impression. You want him to feel comfortable when he enters into your friend circle. You don't want him to feel anxious. You don't want him to have an anxiety attack. You don't want him to, feel so uncomfortable that he doesn't want to be around them. You want him to, you've got to build him up to that place, that point where he feels comfortable. If this is the relationship that God has for your life. Just know this. He's not going to be what you are. You're an introvert. You're an extrovert. You are social. That's a good thing. That allows you to really go into any room and work the room. That's not who he is. Everyone has a different personality. Everyone brings to every relationship their own life experiences. And those experiences are going to shape what the future looks like. And then we have to decide how we're going to build the great quality of life that we so richly desire. Didn't say deserve, I said that we desire. So I'm going to encourage you by saying this. Be mindful that you're in a relationship with someone else. That means there's two people. If you really want to maximize the quality of the relationship and you really want to have a good relationship, you're going to have to walk with him step by step on the journey so that he feels comfortable getting out of his comfort zone. And it's good. Sometimes we have to feel comfortable. We have to learn to be, let me rephrase that. We have to learn to be comfortable being uncomfortable. We all go through that in so many ways, personally and professionally. We have to learn to be uncomfortable, be comfortable being uncomfortable, pardon me. So just give them time. Give them time to get to that place. And then you can include them in your circle, of your friend circle, and I'm certain that will enhance your relationship and also enhance the quality of life for both of you. This segment of the broadcast has been brought to you by one of our sponsors for our annual golf tournament, Porsche of Delaware. If you're in the market for one of the finest high-performance automobiles ever manufactured, go to PorscheDelaware.com. Determine what you're interested in and call the dealership. Contact Mike Didio, General Manager of Porsche of Delaware. He will make certain that you get taken care of. And if you are already an owner of one of the most high-performance automobiles ever manufactured, and just you need service, go to Porsche of Delaware, contact Mike Adams, Service Manager, Porsche of Delaware. He'll make certain that you get taken care of. They will deliver a vehicle to your home when you're scheduled for service, home or office, pick up your vehicle, drop off a loaner, and return the vehicle to you when your service is completed. Porsche of Delaware at PorscheDelaware.com. I'm going to address another communication that came in from one of our listeners and viewers who indicated that you are really focused on progressing in your career. You have been working really hard and still are not making the progress you desire. You know what's really interesting about that? I hear that from more people than you could possibly imagine. You're not the only one. And I know I'm not suggesting that misery loves company. What I'm suggesting to you is everything takes time. If you do good work, good things will happen. I know my church has heard me say this more than one time. We share with our church consistently, New Life Christian Center, 400 Hillcrest Avenue, Wilmington, Delaware, 19809. Come and worship with us on Sunday mornings, 10 a.m. We share as much information as we possibly can share so that everyone has the opportunity to experience the fullness of God. And one thing that I'm constantly telling our congregation is that when you do good work, good things will happen. Everything takes time. There's no shortcut to success. I can't tell you that if you type in on your life navigation system. How about that? The word success, that you're going to find a shorter route to success by going this path as opposed to this path. Everything, depending on what sector of business you are in, takes time to accomplish success. And that time, because we all get the same amount of time every day, 24 hours in a given day, you have to decide, how much time am I going to spend on maximizing my success? So you say you've been working really hard. The question is, are you working hard and smart? Are you being effective and are you being efficient? Are you wasting any time? Because if you waste any amount of time, it's going to delay your progress that amount of time. Now, I know that might sound very simple. It's a very simple process, and you're saying, but this is really complicated. I'm not achieving what I desire to accomplish. But the reality is, if you're wasting any time, that time is going to be delayed in maximizing your success. So let's talk about this first. First, you have to become successful. That means you are having success in your career. That means that you are doing what's necessary to exceed expectations. That's the first and foremost thing. Because you know, when you have your review, it's either going to be exceeds expectations, meets expectations, or does not meet expectations. And there may be some other categories, but those are basically the three that we have to concern ourselves with. If you don't meet expectations, sooner or later, they're going to say, we need to part and go our separate ways. That's just reality. If you meet expectations, that means I'm doing enough to keep my job. If you exceed expectations, that means that not only am I working to be successful, but I'm working to maximize my success. So we have to say, you know what, you can ask yourself this question. When you say you're really working hard, and I want you to work hard and smart, because that's what God has shown us in His Word, that you've got to be strategic, but you have to be effective. So being strategic means you're being efficient. Working hard means you're being effective. You've got to be able to work hard. Everyone has to work hard, by the sweat of our brow, whether you're sweating in the office working or whether you're out digging a hole for infrastructure. We're all going to work by the sweat of our brow, meaning we have to put our hands to something. We have to work at doing something. You don't work, you don't eat. Okay, now let's establish that. But we've got to be diligent in the process. And we've got to be working to become successful and then to maximize that success. So you've got to say to yourself, all right, first of all, everything takes time. How much time am I spending on becoming successful and maximizing my success? And how much time am I wasting every day? So one of the things that we should ask ourselves is, how much time are we wasting every day? Now, I will tell you a more effective way to analyze that is to look at how much time you spend away from the work at hand, meaning doing something else. Jot down that time. If you step away from your computer to go and eat lunch, jot down that time. How much time did you spend having lunch? If you take time out of your day to do something else, to call about a vacation, jot down how much time it takes you to make that call. If you're having problems with your phone, because that's part of your administrative duties of the day, if you're having problems with your phone, jot down how much time it takes you to be on the phone with your carrier. In other words, what I'm saying is just make a note so that at the end of the day you can determine how much of that time has been used effectively and how much of that time you've wasted. And I'll say social media because people use social media for a lot of different things. Just jot down the time you're spending every day doing other than what is required of you to maximize your success. because that's how much time you've delayed your success. And then begin to reduce that time so that you can really become more successful and maximize your success. 3D, today's Daily Divine Direction broadcast, as always, has been brought to you by Fiji Water. The taste of paradise will be delivered right to your front door when you subscribe for delivery, and you'll save money at FijiWater.com. May God bless you today. May God keep his face turned towards you. May God give you peace that surpasses all understanding. Have a great day today. I look forward to being in your viewing environment.